We've all had those nightmares. The ones that we just can't seem to shake, no matter how hard we try. Something about them was just too real. As a horror junkie, I pride myself on not getting scared or laughing at my nightmares. Though this one was different. The thing inside them was more vicious than a normal nightmare. Not to mention, it has visited me multiple times. 5 to be specific. Each time she became more aggressive and more volatile. I'm afraid of what it will do when it catches me. But for now, I feel like I need to share this information with others. I hope this will keep her out of my head. Dream number 1. The first night after me and my current girlfriend began dating, I had a seemingly innocent dream. Me and a group of friends whom I no longer hung out with from high school were at a strange, macabre carnival. Among the group was a girl I had liked in the past. We hung out, laughed, ate carnival food, and wandered around the strange carnival, not really questioning how we got there, or why the carnival was so dark. Eventually, though, I noticed an odd figure in the distance. Pointing it out to the others was a horrible mistake. My former crush was the first to turn and look. The figure was a pale-skinned woman, with an almost paper-white skin tone. Her lips were black, but not due to lipstick. It almost looked like they were bloated and rotten. Her hair was black and matted, with a wet appearance to them. The creepiest part of her was her gaze and movement. Her eyes were empty, and by that I mean they weren't there. Not like anything bloody, but they were simply just not there. You were able to see straight back into her skull. By the time I got a good look at her, I heard a disturbing sound behind me. Turning, I saw the girl I once liked start shaking violently before she gruesomely transformed into the figure right in front of my eyes. She turned and moved in a strange manner, with slow, jerky movements, all the while leaving a strange afterimage, which showed her thrashing about. It shocked me, but it got much worse. When the others glanced at this monstrosity, they turned into the same demonic woman. It was horrifying, and immediately I tried turning to run. It was futile, as I saw that the entire carnival staff and participants had already become her. Before the nightmare could conclude, however, I saw the face of the girl I love now. She put her hands up to my cheeks and looked me in the eyes. Everything will be okay. Close your eyes and wake up. Shortly after, I shot out of my bed, drenched in cold sweat. I was alone in my room, with the only sound being that of the AC running. It was just a bad nightmare, I told myself. I never thought I would see her again. I hope I wouldn't, at least. Dream number 2. I was alone, walking silently in a random mall. There was no sound, no audio. People were visibly talking, and there should have been noises and such from the stores, but there was none. It didn't strike me as odd, however. My dream self simply wandered around the mall, as if looking for someone. The silence was broken, but not by a loud sound. There were strange, crinkling sounds, like that on an empty tape that had been placed in a tape recorder. I looked around for the source, but didn't see anything. I should have questioned it, but I didn't. I just kept wandering mindlessly. Eventually, the sound became more intense as the people vanished. I turned and saw her in the distance. Her non-existent eyes were locked onto me, and quickly, she started walking to me in her broken, jerky motion. I didn't wait to see what her intention was, though. I turned and ran. I don't quite know how long it was in the dream, but every time I looked back, she was there, walking slowly, but somehow inching closer. Finally, the people reappeared, and there was normal sound. I thought the worst was over, but once again, I was wrong. The sounds of bone crunching and flesh tearing filled the air as I witnessed the mall full of people morph into her once again. I was trapped, and I know she would have gotten me if I didn't feel a brush against my cheek and a voice. Close your eyes and wake up. She won't harm you. It had been a couple of months since the first dream. My eyes flew open as I shot up. Once again, I was in my room, but this time, not alone. At this point, my girlfriend was with me, asleep peacefully next to me. She had saved me again. I don't know how, but frankly, I'm not complaining. At this point, though, I noted her presence. I know it's not uncommon to dream things more than once, but I figured she had been a one-time thing. The thing that bothered me, though, was that she moved this time. Dream number 3. Unlike the other dreams, this one was much darker. The moment my nightmare started, she was already there. Whatever she was, it was clear that she had some sort of business with me. Her rotten lips were moving, as if she was trying to speak, but again, the cracking sound of an empty tape was heard. At this point, I was fed up with her. I'm not scared of you. Leave me alone. She tilted her head, but only gave a wicked grin as she flew at me. Once again, I heard a voice. Time to wake up. I shot up, out of my slumber. It had been over a year since I last dreamt of her, and I was now in a new apartment. I looked around the empty room, but felt a firm grip on my hand from my sleeping girlfriend. If she was going to keep coming at me like this, then I knew I had to do something. That morning, I went to one of those natural remedy places and explained my issue. The lady that worked there nodded and told me she had just the thing. Dream number 4. This dream started off rather sweet. I was back in high school, reliving some of my best memories, though there was a stunning lack of audio. At this point, though, my memory gets hazy. Not because of my lack of it, but because the dream seemed to have gotten derailed. The only details I can recall are her violent movements, which left the blurry after-image of her. Her lips were moving, like she was speaking, and her face, which previously had no emotion. She was angry now. I think she was screaming at me. Before she could do anything, however, I heard the love of my life's voice once again. She can't harm you. I'm here. This time, I woke up a bit more calmly. It was 4 a.m., and it was a weekend. The light from the post outside crept into my room, illuminating it, giving it a nice, calm feeling to it. I had predicted her movement, and I had bought a firestone. In my culture, a firestone is a protective charm that you can put under your pillow when you sleep. If you have a nightmare, the rock is supposed to catch it. Then, the next day, you burn the stone, and the flames are supposed to show you what was haunting you. Well, I returned to my parents' house and asked if I could use their grill. Upon burning the stone, I saw her there, in the flames, her face angry and twisted. It gave me chills, but I felt like I had won. Final nightmare. I didn't see it coming. She appeared once last time. Though judging by her behavior, I felt this would be her final appearance to me. The setting was that of an abandoned theater. She and I were on the stage, facing off against one another. She was angry. Her emotions were similar to that of a broken person, jerking, with bones snapping, and painful to watch bending. She vibrated in her normal fashion, leaving behind several after images. She was clearly thrashing about and jerking closer to me. I couldn't move, however. Every time I blinked, she was closer to me. And finally, I remember staring into her empty eye sockets. Her face was only inches from mine. I thought I had lost, but she couldn't come any closer. Her fist hit an invisible wall, which angered her. She pounded away with her white fists, but to no avail. The scenery around me began to rot away as she became volatile, jerking and twisting in ways she hadn't before, while trying her hardest to get to me. Finally, though, something drove her back. Close your eyes. Trust me. I won't let her get you. I awoke, gasping for air. This time the dream had appeared a day after I burnt the stone. This time, the dream had appeared This time, the dream had appeared a day after I burned the stone. My girlfriend was holding me tightly, while giving the occasional cute snore. It's been 6 months since my last encounter with her, but I don't want to risk it. I've done everything in my power to make sure she does not come back to me. I've drawn her, hoping that it binds her to the paper. I've prayed before bed, and I've even gotten as far to burn white candles and put salt at my doors and my windows. This is also one of my precautions. I am turning to you all, in hopes that spreading knowledge of her would render her too weak to bother me. Though, now that I think about it, this may also be a mistake. As you read this, you've been imagining her, and that may have given her a door to enter your mind. To those of you with a significant other, you shouldn't be too scared. She seems to be repelled by your partner's love for you. But to those who remain alone, I truly am sorry. But I think she's watching you now.